So imagine you're some kid 3,000 years ago, you're just running around on the farm and it's a beautiful day, and all of a sudden you look up to the sky and you just see the sun disappear. And 2 weeks later, a similar thing happens, but it's the moon that disappears. And you run home and you say, Dad, did you see what just happened? And Dad says, I'm proud of you, son. You finally noticed. We've been noticing this too for many, many years. Hello, my name is Orla. I'm your local witch. I'm a yogi, an astrologer, and I love to help people find balance from within by using the cosmic and natural cycles all around us, as above, so below. On the 17th of February, we will have our annual new moon in Aquarius. So we are currently in Aquarius season, the sun is in Aquarius, and when the moon moves into Aquarius, we find this alignment where the moon and the sun line up into a new moon. New moons are all about a new cycle starting, new beginnings, new ideas, fresh energy, and Aquarius is the rebel of the sign. It's all about revolution, innovation, progress, about future, and about bringing people together for the greater good. So that's what this new moon in Aquarius is all about. But there is so much more going on. The moon is moving exactly over the sun's path, the ecliptic, meaning that when the moon lines up with the sun, it's going to create a solar eclipse on the 17th of February. Now, eclipse season happens astronomically twice a year. It's an astronomical occurrence that we can record and witness with our eyes. And astrologically speaking, this is like a karmic turning point. It's all about change and growth, and all for the greater good, for greater alignment. So it's when the moon and sun line up almost perfectly. So it's also where we are invited to find alignment within. This new moon in Aquarius solar eclipse is happening in 28 degrees Aquarius. So if you want to find out what this means for you personally, on a personal level, you can go and check out your chart. Your birth chart is a circle of 360 degrees, and this is divided into the 12 signs. So every sign has about 30 degrees. So when you find Aquarius, you'll see the signs on the outside, and this is the Aquarius symbol. So when you find Aquarius in your chart, it's just going to read 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28 degrees Aquarius, and then you'll also find in which house the sun and moon are aligning for you personally. And so this will be the area in your life where you will feel a shift, a change, an invitation perhaps. And I also recommend you check if you have any other planets in 28 degrees of any other sign, because this means that these planets could also be activated during this solar eclipse. The fact that this is also happening on the very last day of Aquarius season is very telling. It's like this big massive occurrence, and then the next day we're flooded into Pisces season. So it's very interesting. There's many interesting synchronicities happening on the 17th of February. So the Aquarius new moon actually starts Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year always starts on the second new moon after the winter solstice. So we had winter solstice on the 21st of December, then we had a Capricorn new moon, and now this is the second new moon after winter solstice, the Aquarius new moon. And we're just leaving the year of the snake, and the year of the snake was all about shedding, all about letting go of narratives, of expectations, of roles that no longer serve you, or the collective, or society in general. So we're really coming out of a year of letting all of that go, and we're coming into the year of the horse. So you can imagine the horse galloping into the future. So again, we're connecting this new moon in Aquarius to future orientation, and it's also the fire horse. So every Chinese New Year has two themes. It has an animal and an element. So this is the year of the fire horse. So fire is also very, it's all about passion and movement and action. So there's going to be a big shift in the air, no matter where you are in the world. I think this will be a massive collective shift that we will feel. The 17th of February is also Pancake Tuesday. Right? A I think this might be just an Irish thing, but in Ireland we have a thing called Pancake Tuesday, and this year it's on the 17th of February because this is something that lines up with Easter, so a Christian holiday. And Easter is calculated by taking, it's always on the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. So you can see how like everyone's kind of, you know, looking at the sun, looking at the moon, and they're basing their celebrations and their events, their spiritual practices off of these things. So like if you're into astrology, that's not the only practice that does this. And today on the 17th of February, it seems like all of this is coming, many things are coming together. It's just so interesting to see. So Easter marks the end of Lent. And Lent is a fasting holiday in Christianity. It commemorates the 40 days that Jesus spent in the wilderness, fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and where he was tempted by the devil. And in my personal life, I didn't ever fast during Lent, but it is in my community anyways, in my environment, it's been a thing to give up a temptation. So you might give up chocolate or sweets, or one year I gave up social media for 40 days, for example. So we commemorate these 40 days between Pancake Tuesday, the last day where we can like celebrate and eat all of our temptations, and then on Ash Wednesday, the day after, is the start of Lent and the 40-day fast until Easter. So that's also a very interesting synchronicity. And then the final coincidence, or synchronicity, if you like, is that Ramadan also begins around this time. So Ramadan begins in the ninth month of the Muslim calendar, and they also use a lunar calendar. And it is believed that in the 9th month, this is when all the scriptures were revealed. So that includes like the Psalms and the Quran. So that's why they celebrate Ramadan on this during this month. And so the fast will start on the first sighting of the crescent new moon after this particular new moon. So that's also just so symbolic. Ramadan is a time of fasting, but it's also a time of prayer, of connection, of community. So I just find it super interesting that all of this is coinciding on the same day, around the same time, around this eclipse, around this solar eclipse. And generally during eclipse season, it's not recommended to perform any rituals or to manifest, but when I take a look at all of these things that are coinciding, I really just think, okay, you know, listen to your own intuition and do what feels right for you. I think this is definitely, it's a start of a new year for some, it's a start of a time of devotion for many. So oftentimes it's not recommended to manifest during eclipse season and to let go of all of your spiritual practices, just to kind of do a spiritual cleanse, like to maintain spiritual hygiene, just to be like, okay, just letting go for a while and just trusting the process and seeing what comes up and paying attention to the signs. And I definitely recommend doing that also, but I also think that if intuitively you feel like you want to do a certain practice or do something, then listen to that as well. It's almost 3 years ago during an eclipse season, for example, that I shaved all my hair off, and that was very symbolic for me. And I did it on an eclipse. I think it was a Scorpio full moon eclipse, and it just felt like the right thing to do for me at that time. Like I was really letting go of a big thing, of a big of big attachments. I was really attached to my hair, but I didn't want to be so attached to my hair, so you know, that's a story for another time. But yeah, so definitely listen to your intuition big time on this one, and let me know in the comments what's happening for you. What do you feel is going to be your thing? Like what's your intention, let's say, for this time? And let's share. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment. Let's stay connected during this time. As always, there are some journaling prompts in the description box below. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Happy eclipse season.